Another day, another story. An urgent health warning has been issued after an E.coli outbreak was linked to a nationally distributed food item. An unspecified number of people are being treated in hospital due to the outbreak, the UK Health Security Agency, EUCSA, has said. The EUCSA says there are. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. 81 cases in England, 18 in Wales. 1 in Northern Ireland. For this case, evidence suggests that they acquired their infection while visiting England. An urgent health warning has been issued due to an E. coli outbreak linked to organic walnuts distributed by Gibson Farms Incorporated. These walnuts were sold in bulk bins at natural food and co-op stores across 19 states, including California and Washington. So far, 12 confirmed cases have been reported, with 7 requiring hospitalization and 2 patients developing acute kidney failure. Consumers are advised to check their pantries, refrigerators, and freezers for organic walnut halves and pieces purchased from bulk bins. If you have these walnuts, it is recommended to discard them immediately and clean any surfaces they may have touched to prevent cross-contamination. Retailers and distributors should also halt the sale of these products and thoroughly clean storage bins before refilling. The specific walnuts under recall can be identified by lot numbers 3325-043 and 3341-501, with expiration dates of May 21, 2025 and June 7, 2025. If you suspect you have consumed contaminated walnuts and are experiencing symptoms such as severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, often bloody, vomiting, or fever, seek medical attention promptly. The recent E. coli outbreak has been traced to organic walnuts distributed by Gibson Farms Incorporated. This outbreak has led to a nationwide recall, impacting multiple states and raising significant public health concerns. Details of the outbreak. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration have identified that the organic walnuts were sold in bulk bins at natural food and co-op stores in 19 states, including California, Washington, Arizona, Colorado, and Texas. The affected walnuts can be identified by lot numbers 3325-043 and 3341-501, with expiration dates of May 21, 2025 and June 7, 2025. Health impact. As of now, 12 confirmed cases of E. coli infection have been reported. Of these, 7 individuals required hospitalization, and 2 developed acute kidney failure. The symptoms of E. coli infection include severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, which can be bloody, and vomiting. Response and recommendations. Gibson Farms Incorporated has initiated a voluntary recall and is working with distributors and retailers to remove the contaminated walnuts from stores. Consumers who have purchased these walnuts are advised to discard them immediately and clean any surfaces that may have come into contact with the walnuts to prevent cross-contamination. Retailers are also instructed to clean and sanitize bins and other containers that held the contaminated product. The FDA and CDC are continuing to investigate the outbreak to identify any additional affected products or states. Broader implications. This outbreak is part of a series of food safety concerns involving nuts. Last month, the FDA issued a recall for Trader Joe's nuts due to potential salmonella contamination, highlighting ongoing challenges in ensuring the safety of nut products. Of the 81 cases in England, the EUCSA said around 37 people had been hospitalized. In a statement, the agency said, based on the wide geographic spread of cases, it is most likely that this outbreak is linked to a nationally distributed food item or multiple food items. All the cases recorded in the outbreak involve sugar toxin producing E. coli 0145, STEC, which can cause severe diarrhea as well as stomach cramps and fever. Symptoms can last up to 2 weeks, and in some patients, mainly children, it can cause hemolytic uremic syndrome, a serious life-threatening condition resulting in kidney failure. How do you catch E. coli? It is often transmitted by eating contaminated food but can also be spread by close contact with an infected person, as well as direct contact with an infected animal or its environment. But the E.coli ruled out the disease spreading through water, saying there was currently no evidence linking the outbreak to open farms, drinking water or swimming in contaminated seawater, lakes or rivers. Darren Whitby, head of incidents and resilience at the Food Standards Agency, said, "The FSA is working with E.coli and relevant public health bodies to identify the source of the illness, which is likely to be linked to one or more food items. We always advise consumers and those looking after vulnerable people to ensure good hygiene practices are followed when handling and preparing food, regularly washing hands with soap and warm water and ensuring equipment, utensils and surfaces foods come into contact with are cleaned thoroughly to prevent cross-contamination. You should not prepare food for others if you have had symptoms, or for 48 hours after symptoms stop." Even though the source of the outbreak remains unknown, the E.coli issued some further guidance to reduce the risk of catching and spreading the disease. Regularly washing your hands with warm water and soap. Alcohol gels do not kill all of the bugs that cause diarrheal illness. Following food hygiene measures such as washing fruit and vegetables and cooking food properly. If you have diarrhea and vomiting, you should not prepare food for others and avoid visiting people in hospitals or care homes to avoid passing on the infection. You should not return to work, school or nursery until 48 hours after your symptoms have stopped. The outbreak and recall. The FDA and CDC have been investigating an E.coli O157 outbreak linked to organic walnut halves and pieces from Gibson Farms Incorporated. These walnuts were sold in bulk at natural food and co-op stores across 19 states, including California, Washington, and several others. The walnuts can be identified by lot numbers 3325-043 and 3341-501 with expiration dates of May 21, 2025, and June 7, 2025. Health impact. The outbreak has resulted in 12 confirmed cases of E. coli infection, with 7 hospitalizations and 2 cases of acute kidney failure due to hemolytic uremic syndrome, HUS, a severe complication of E. coli infection. Symptoms typically include severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, often bloody, vomiting, and fever. Investigation and response. The investigation revealed that the affected walnuts were distributed in bulk bins, and some stores may have repackaged them into plastic clamshells or bags. Consumers are advised to check their pantries and discard any walnuts that might be part of the recall. The FDA and CDC continue to investigate the source of contamination and are working with the company and distributors to prevent further spread. Broader context. This outbreak is part of a broader trend of food safety incidents involving nut products. Recently, Trader Joe's issued a recall for their nuts due to potential salmonella contamination. These incidents underscore the need for stringent food safety protocols and prompt responses to contamination issues. Public health recommendations. Consumers who have purchased the recalled walnuts should discard them immediately and clean any surfaces they may have touched. If you experience symptoms of E. coli infection after consuming these walnuts, seek medical attention promptly. Ongoing efforts. The FDA, CDC, and local health authorities continue to monitor the situation closely. Updates will be provided as more information becomes available regarding the source of the contamination and any additional products or locations that may be affected. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.